chemical basis sorry about that. So by mistakenly, I left the meeting, right? So we are studying about chemical basis of life, right? So this is unit 1 of grade 10, right? Unit 1 of grade 10. So let's start, okay? So before we start, now this is grade 10, first unit, right? So I just want to introduce some science words, right? So that you will understand what I'm teaching later, right? So let's see what are the science words I want to introduce first before we go to the lesson, right? So the first thing, now let's talk together. Now it should be an interactive session, okay? So when I'm asking questions, you can answer in the chat. So I will be looking at the chat, and in half an hour, like after I teach a certain part, I can unmute you all, so you all can talk, unmute, talk, and ask your doubt as well. So that's how the class is going to go, right? Okay, so now look here. Now, when you take a substance, right? Say you have taken a substance. What is the simplest form of this substance? Can you all let me know? What is the simplest form of a substance? Yes? Can you all answer me in the chat? Yes? What is the simplest form of a substance? Very good. The simplest form of a substance, you call it as what? Atom, right? Remember, whenever you take a substance, the simplest form of that substance, you call it as what? Atom. So say with me, everyone. So what is an atom? The simplest form of a substance, you call it as what? Atom, right? You call it as atom. So now let's go to the next word I want to introduce. So that is a molecule, right? So say with me, what is it? Molecule. So let's study what is a molecule, right? Now say for an example, you have two atoms, right? You have two atoms. Now are these atoms the same or different? By looking at it, you feel like whether these atoms are same or different. What do you all see? Are they same or different? Same, right? They are same. So if these two atoms combine together, they will form something like this, right? Now let me take another one. So this is one atom, this is another atom. So are these similar atoms or dissimilar atoms, everyone? Are these similar or dissimilar? Yes, they are dissimilar. So if they join together, they will form something like this. So this you call it as a molecule, right? So what is a molecule? Two similar atoms or two dissimilar atoms. So you can say two or more similar atoms, or two or more dissimilar atoms. If they combine together, that will form a molecule, right? So what is a molecule? Say with me again. So molecule means two similar atoms or two dissimilar atoms. If they combine together, that will form a molecule, right? So everyone say with me, let's repeat it before we go to the next one. So make some noise, okay? I can hear you. So what is an atom? So atom is the simplest form of a substance. You call it as atom. What is a molecule? Two similar atoms or two dissimilar atoms joined together, it will form what? A molecule, right? So if two or more similar atoms or two or more dissimilar atoms combine together, that will form a molecule, right? So the next word we are going to study is element, right? So what's the next word we are going to study? Element, right? Now for an example, say you take a magnesium sheet, right? So that means a sheet of magnesium, a magnesium sheet, right? So now inside the magnesium sheet, so the magnesium sheet will be made up of what? Now, what is the simplest form of this magnesium sheet? Can you all answer me? What is the simplest form of this magnesium sheet? Magnesium atom, right? Magnesium atom. So now this magnesium sheet will be made up of what atoms? The magnesium sheet will be made up of magnesium atom, right? So are they made up of the same type of atom, or are they made by different atoms? Now looking at this, can you say, is it made by the same type of atom, or is the magnesium sheet made by different atoms? What do you all think? What do you all think? Very good. Magnesium sheet is made by the same type of atom. So that is the magnesium, right? Next one. Let's take oxygen gas, right? Let's take oxygen gas. Now look here. Now, whenever you take oxygen gas in the atmosphere, you always mention it as O2, right? You always mention it as O2. What does that mean? How many oxygen are you having? Now, you have put a 2 here. And you have put an oxygen here. So how many oxygen do you have here? Very good. You have 2 oxygen, right? So that means you have 1 oxygen here and it is combined to another oxygen, right? Now see, 2 same atoms have combined or 2 different atoms have combined. What do you all understand? Right? 2 same atoms have combined or 2 different atoms have combined. Yes, answer me. Same atoms. Right? Same atoms have combined. So therefore, you can call it as what? What is this? If you have 2 similar atoms combined together, what do you call it as? Yes? What's the name you give for that? Molecule. Right? You call it as molecule. So remember, in the air, oxygen is always found as O2. That means oxygen is always found as an atom, or is it found as a molecule? What do you all think? Is it in the atmosphere, do you find oxygen as an atom? Or in the atmosphere, do you find oxygen as a molecule? Molecule, right? Molecule. So that means if you take oxygen, oxygen will always be present as a molecule. Do you have oxygen atom in the nature? In the nature, will you have oxygen atom? No. No oxygen atom. You will only have oxygen molecule, right? Oxygen molecule. Now come. Now let's come to the definition of element, right? Let's come to the definition of element. So now in the element definition, you have 2 parts, right? First, let's talk about this part, right? So what is an element? Listen to me very carefully. If a substance, right? Now magnesium sheet is a substance, is made by, now say me, is this magnesium sheet made by the same type of atom? Or is this magnesium sheet made by different atoms? Yeah, magnesium sheet is made by the same type of atom or different types of atom? Same type. So the definition of an element is, if a substance is made by the same type of atom, right? If you have a substance and if that substance is made by the same type of atom, then you can call this as an element, right? If you have a substance and if the substance is made by the same type of atom, you can call it as an element. So that is the first part of the definition, okay? Or next part of the definition. If you have a molecule, right? Or if a molecule. Now you all say me, now this oxygen is a molecule. So does it have the same type of atom? Does this oxygen have the same type of atom? Or does this oxygen have different types of atom? What do you all think? Yes, same type. So, or if a molecule contains the same type of atom, right? If a molecules contain the same type of atom, that you call it as an element. Right? So this is an easy definition to remember. So they won't ask you definitions in your O level, okay? They will just ask you, okay, is this an element? Then what should be your answer? Is this an element? Is O2 an element? Yes, it's an element, right? So what is an element? Come again. So easy to remember. What is an element? If a substance is made by the same type of atom. If you have a substance and if that is made by the same type of atom, you call it as an element. Or if you have a molecule containing the same that you call it again. Understood? So now O, H2O. Now you all say me, how many water have? How many hydrogen atoms does this water have? Can you all answer me? Yes. How many hydrogen atoms water have? Yeah. Y'all can hear me, right? Can you all hear me? How many hydrogen atoms does this water have? 2. You have 2 hydrogen atoms. How many oxygen atoms does this water have? 1. So now look at water and let me know. Can you call water as an element? Can you call water as an element? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can you call water as an element? No. Why? Why? Because this molecule, is it made by the same type of atom? Is this molecule made by the same type of atom? No. So therefore, water is not an element. Water is not an element, right? Next one, I'll ask you another question. Say now you have H2. What does that H2 means? What do you mean by H2? H2 means it contains how many hydrogen? How many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen. So now is this a molecule? Is this a molecule? Now you have 2 hydrogens and they have combined together. So is it a molecule? Yes, it's a molecule. Can you also call it as an element? Can you also call it as an element? Yes. Why is that? Why is that? Because this molecule is made up of the same type of atom. So therefore, H2 also you can call it as an element, right? So now let's see. Now say for an example, you have magnesium. Magnesium. Now say me 2 words I can call this magnesium with. Say me 2 words I can call this magnesium with. I can say magnesium is a, yes, fill in the blanks. I can say magnesium is a element, or I can say magnesium. What's the other word I can use? Magnesium. Can I say it's a molecule? Is it a molecule? Molecule means you should have 2 atoms combined together. Do you have 2 atoms? Magnesium is 1 atom, Mg. So what can I call? I can call it as an atom. I can say magnesium atom, or I can say it as magnesium element. Did you understand? Did you understand? Did you understand, everyone? Anyone who didn't understand? Okay, good. Now let me take another example. Say for an example, I'll take Cl2. Cl2 means chlorine gas. So you have Cl2. So now what are the 2 words I can describe this with? Now I can call this as an, it's Cl2. 2 chlorine atoms has combined together. So I can call it as what? I can call it as a element. Very good. Because it's made up of the same type of atom, I can call it as an element. What's the other word I can call this with? Very good. That's correct. I can call it as a molecule, right? So I can either say this is an element, or I can say this is a molecule. So did you understand now? Did you understand now? Yes? No? Good. Right. Now look. Now say for an example, you have H2 plus O2. Now H2 is what? Is it an element? You can say it as an element or an atom. What is it? H2 is a, can you say it as an atom? Atom means you should have only one. It is having H2. Can I say it as an atom? No, I can't. So what I can say it as? I can say it as a molecule, or I can say it as a element. Very good. So I can say H2 is an element. Then O2. What can I say it as? O2. Yes, very good. I can say that is also an element. So if H2 combines with O2, it will form water. So this is a compound. This you call it as what? compound. So if you have two elements combined together, it will form a compound, right? So what is a compound? Compound means if you have two elements combined together, that you call it as a compound. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, let's take a 2-minute break because of the azan and let's continue. Okay? Go and have some water and come back. Let me know when the azan is over. Okay, so let's continue. So what is a compound? Everyone say with me. What is a compound? Combination of two elements will form a compound, right? Combination of two elements will form a compound, right? Now look, now look. Now when I say water, I can give water two names. What are the two names I can give water? I can say it as a compound. That is one name. What's the other name I can give for water? Yes? What is the other name? Very good. I can say it as a molecule. Why? Because water is made up of two or more different atoms. So I can say, when I'm describing water, I can say it is a water molecule, or I can say it is a water compound. So did you understand? So did you understand the word atom, element, molecule, compound? So those are the 4 words first I want to introduce before we start the class. Is it clear? So let's do some activity before we go to our main lesson. Now, first example. Yes. Now, you should say me 2 names with which I can call these with. 2 names I can call these with. Yes. Everyone, answer me. 2 names I can call these with. I can either call these as this or that. What is that I can call this? Okay, everyone, I'm getting element. Some people are saying element. Some people are saying molecule. Even some people are saying compound. And some people are saying atom. So that means all the answers are here. So let me add 1, 2, 3, 4. Others. Now, these are the answers I got. Others. With what answer you all agree with? Yes, others. Which answer will you agree with? Everyone, answer me. Look, you can call it as an element. Why? Because it is a molecule and it contains the same type of atom or different type. N2 means you have 2 nitrogen atoms. So is it the same type of atom or different types of atom? Same type. So that means I can call it as an element. I can call it as an element. Next one, I can call it as a molecule. Why? 2 similar atoms has combined together, or 2 dissimilar atoms have combined together? You have 2 similar atoms combined together. So you can call it as a molecule as well. So your answer should be an element. You can say nitrogen gas is an element, or you can say nitrogen gas is a molecule. right? Okay, another one, another question, right? Sodium. Sodium is Na. What are the two names you can call this with? Sodium. What are the two names you can call this with? I can say this is a sodium. Very good. Atom. So it's a simplest form, atom. Or I can say sodium. Very good. Element, right? So if you have a sodium sheet or sodium, and it will be made up of sodium atoms. So I can say it as sodium element, or I can say it as a sodium atom. So is it clear? Can we go to the main part now? Can we, one more. Okay, this one, NaCl, sodium with chlorine. What are the two names I can give this for? Give me two names for this. Sodium chloride. Okay, good. I can say it as a compound because two elements has joined. Sodium has joined with chlorine. So I can say it as a compound. So what's the other name I can give? Very good. Molecule, right? I can say it as a molecule, or I can say it as a compound. So did you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? Right. Good. Okay, now let's go to the next part. Let's go to the next part of the lesson, right? Now when you take all the compounds in the nature, now we are going to the main lesson, right? Okay, before that, look here. When you take the earth, right? When you take the earth, in the earth, you have 92 elements, right? How many elements do you have in the earth? 92 elements, right? So out of this, 25 element is found inside our body, right? Out of the 92 elements, how many elements are found in our body? 25. 25 element is found inside our body. Out of this 25, the main four elements found in our body is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. You all should remember this, right? So what you all should remember? On the earth, you have 92 elements. Out of the 92 elements, how many elements are found inside our body? Yes, answer me. Out of the 92 elements, how many elements are found inside our body? 25. So when you take the 25, in that, what are the most common elements? You have four most common. So what are the four most common elements? Very good. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Out of this, the highest is oxygen, right? So which element is found the highest inside our body? What is the answer? Which element is found the highest inside our body? That is oxygen, right? That is oxygen. Now I'll ask you one question, right? Everyone should answer. Now, if these elements join together, what will they form? If these elements join together, what will they form? Yes, if these elements join together, what will they form? Very good. They are going to form compound. That's correct, right? So if the elements combine together, they are going to form what? Compound. So now listen to me very carefully. So when you take all the compounds in the nature, you can divide them into two types, right? You can divide the compounds into how many types, everyone? Two types, right? The first one, you call it as the organic compound, right? The first compound, you call it as what? Organic compound. The second type, you call it as the inorganic compound, right? The second type, you call it as what? Inorganic compound, right? So you can call it as the organic compound, or you can call it as the inorganic compound. Organic or inorganic, right? Okay, now listen to me carefully. Now this organic compound is a group of people, right? What they say. Now in your school also you have some friend groups, right? Okay, if you have this only, you can come to my group. There are some boys, okay? There is some boys getting together. Okay, if you have this only, you can join our group. If not, you can't. So same like this organic compound, people are saying, okay, if you have carbon only, you come to our group. If not, you go to the next one. So what are organic compounds? What do they have? Now this group of people, what do they have? They have carbon. They have carbon. They are saying, okay, you have carbon, come to our group. So organic compounds means the compounds which contain what? The compounds which contain, yes, answer me. The compounds which contain carbon. Carbon. Right. Now I'll ask you one question. Now this group, no, this is a group, right? So now this is a compound which contain carbon. Okay, all the compounds which containing carbon come to this group. Now if someone gets angry inside your group, what will he do? Now say you have a gang of people, students, yeah, your group, your gang, right? Say someone got angry with you. So what will they do? They will go and join the, will they just stay? They will go and join the next group, right? They will go and join the next group. So remember, so these organic compounds are the compounds which contain carbon, except some people. Who are the people? Those people got angry. So who are the people who got angry? The first one is carbon, right? The compounds which contain carbon, except. Now some people got angry. Now you all should remember who got angry, right? So who are the people who got angry? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Then next one, carbon monoxide, right? So carbon monoxide is CO. Then next one, I'll write it here, bicarbonate, right? Bicarbonate ions, that is HCO3 minus, right? Then last one is carbonate ions. Carbonate ions means CO3 2 minus. So these people got angry with this organic compound. So who will they join with? Now is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, bicarbonate and carbonate any more under organic compound? No, they got angry. So these compounds are which? They are inorganic, right? Except these, all the other compounds which contain carbon are organic. Did you understand? Yeah, they have carbon, still they have carbon, but they got angry with these people, no. So they went and joined the next group, right? So what is organic compound? So let's see the definition. What is organic compound? Compounds which contain whom? What is organic compound? Compounds which contain, yes, answer me, yeah, go. Compounds which contain carbon, except, who are the people who got angry? Except, yeah, carbon dioxide. Then next one, carbon monoxide. Next one, answer me everyone. Bicarbonate and carbonate. So all these four, are they any more organic? All these four, are they any more organic? No, they are inorganic. They are inorganic. So what are inorganic compounds? Now these organic compounds means the compound which contain carbon. So what's the opposite of that? What's inorganic compound? The compounds which do not contain carbon, right? So the compounds which do not contain carbon, you call them as the inorganic compound. So did you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? Everyone, is it clear? Okay, good. Before we go to the next one, before we go to the next part, let's revise it again. Compounds, you can divide them into how many types? Yes? Compounds, you can divide them into how many types? Answer me. 2 types. Very good. What are the 2 types of the compound? Organic and inorganic. So what are organic compounds? What are organic compounds? The compounds which contain carbon. But some people got angry. Who are the people who got angry? Except carbon dioxide. Then next one is what? Carbon monoxide. Then next one, bicarbonate. And the last one is carbonate, right? So organic compounds are compounds which contain carbon, except carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, bicarbonate, and carbonate. So what are inorganic compounds? What are inorganic compounds? The compounds which do not contain carbon. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, now let's go to the next part, right? Go to the next part. So the next part what we are going to study today is biomolecules. Biomolecules. Right. Now listen here. Now, have you heard about biology, chemistry, physics? Have you heard about biology, chemistry, and physics in science? Have you heard about that? Okay, good. So when you say about whom? About whom do you study biology? Hello. Okay, what do you study about living things? Who are the living things? Don't say you don't know this also. Huh? Now I am going to cry if you don't know this. Who are the living things? Answer me, answer me. Who are the living things? Now you are studying this from sorry, I had a connection problem. Okay, so who are the living things? Who are the living things? Simple living things are animals. And what's the other one you can say? Living things are animals, plants, as what? Biology, right? So now here the word bio stands for living things. Can you all hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Okay, y'all can hear me now, right? Okay, good. So now come again. So living things. So if you're studying about living things, so you call that as biology, right? Biology means study about the living things. So now the word bio, what does it stand for? Living things. So did you understand that? Y'all can hear me right now? Okay, so the word bio stands for what? Living things, right? The word bio stands for living things. Now, I'll ask you another question. Now, when I was teaching about atom, element, molecule, compound, instead of an element, I can give another word. What is the other word I can give? Now, most of the time when it comes element, there is another word combined to it. What is that? Now, say water. I can say water is an compound. Or I can say water is a molecule, right? So, what's the other word? Instead of saying molecule, first for the substances I can call, instead of substances I can call what? Compound, right? Instead of saying it as molecule, for some substances I can call it as what? Compound, right? So biomolecules mean the organic compound. Okay, what are bios? Organic compound that build up living things. Understand? So the compound. Bio means living things. So what they are organic compound. Hello? Can you all hear me now? Is the board clear? Is the board clear? Okay, good. Right. So now come again. I'll teach you again. Here, look, the word bio. So what does the word bio indicate? What does the word bio indicate? Everyone, answer me. Living things. The word bio indicates living things. So instead of a molecule, what's the other name I can give for a molecule? What's the other name I can give for a molecule? Compound. So now let's make the definition. Now don't try to memorize. If you memorize, you will forget. So you understand. Okay, biomolecules. So you can name it as a compound also. So what is a biomolecule? Those are organic compound. Now, before we go any further, what is organic compound? Let's see whether you can remember. What is organic compound before we go any further? Yes, very good. The compounds which contain carbon, right? So, biomolecules are organic compound. Where do you find it? That build up the living things, living matter or living things, right? So, that you call it as biomolecule. Did you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? So for the last time, say with me, what is biomolecules? Organic compound that build up living things. Organic compound that build up living things. So that you call it as biomolecules. So in our body, we have 5 types of biomolecules. How many types? You have 5 types of biomolecule. The first one is carbohydrate. What is the first type of biomolecule? Say with me. Carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is the first type of biomolecule. The second type is protein. What is the second type of biomolecule, everyone? Protein. The third type is lipid. Right? The third type is lipid. The fourth type is nucleic acid. Right? What's the fourth type? Nucleic acid. The fifth type is vitamin. Right? What's the fifth type? Vitamin. So carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid, and vitamin. So these are the biomolecule which is found inside our body. Right? Out of this, the main 4 are these 4. Right? So this is only present in very low amount. Right? This is only present in very low amount. Did you understand? Okay. So biomolecules are carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid, and vitamin. These are found in high amount, but vitamin you find it in less amount. So is it clear? So is it clear? Now I'll ask you one question. Now inside our body, now biomolecules are the organic compound that build up living things. So inside our body you have water, right? Inside our body you have water. Can water come under biomolecule? Can water come under biomolecule? Yes or no? What do you all think? Just think and let me know. Can water come under biomolecule? Now, some people are saying yes. Some people are saying no. If you say no, let me know what is your reason. Why? What is your reason? Now, come to the definition again. Everyone, with me, write the definition down. What are biomolecule? Organic compound. They are the organic compounds that build up living things. Now think again. Is water a biomolecule or is water not a biomolecule? Is it a biomolecule or not a biomolecule? Not a biomolecule. Why? Is water an organic compound? Does water contain carbon? No, it's not containing carbon. So that means it's not a biomolecule. So did you understand? So water is not a biomolecule. So then what can you say? Water is a inorganic compound. So in our body, we have main two inorganic compounds. So one is water, the other one is minerals. Right? One is water and the other one is what? Minerals. So in this lesson, we will be mainly focusing on these 5 with water and minerals. Is it clear? Is it clear? Right? So before we go any further, can you all name the 5 biomolecules found inside our body? Before we go any further, can you name the 5 biomolecules found inside our body? Yes? Very good. First one is carbohydrate. Then second one, protein. Third one, lipid. Fourth one, nucleic acid. Fifth one, vitamin. Good. Name 2 inorganic compound found inside our body. Name 2 inorganic compound found inside our body. Water, then mineral. Very good. Right. Now, take out your tute. I hope you all have downloaded the tute from the website. Did you all download the tute from the website? Yes or no? Did you all? No? Okay. I think Hilmi sir will teach you all how to download the tute. Hilmi sir, are you there? No, I think he's not here. Right. So so this is the tute. So you all can download it from the website. Hilmi sir will let you all know how to download it from the website. I think he's not here now. So now look here. Now look here. So when you take the tute, in my tute, in the first part, you will have model questions, right? If you take the tute, in the first part of the tute, you will have the model question. In the second part of the tute, you will have the past paper questions related to the unit 1. So all the past paper from 2016 to 2020, all the past paper questions which is related to unit 1, you will find. And in the last part of the tute, you will have the short note for that particular lesson, right? So if you can get a very colorful printout of the short note, it will be very useful, right? So by comparing, now look, the green is zinc. So like that, you can compare and study. So this is the tute that you should download it from the website, right? Okay. So now, can you all do the first 5 questions soon? Can you all do the first 5 questions now? Write the answers in a book. Try to write without seeing the book, okay? Try to write the answers without seeing your textbook. Do it without seeing your textbook soon. At the meantime, if you have any doubt up to what we have studied, you can unmute and ask. I have changed the setting. So if you have any doubt regarding to the part which we have studied up to now, you can unmute and talk.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
The tute is not available.
No, I uploaded it. Can you check it?
Yeah, sure.
I uploaded it, I think, at about 4 o'clock. Did you check it after 4?
Yeah, but now it's not showing me the tube.
Okay, I will upload it again.
Compound is carbon, right?
Sorry?
The abundant compound is carbon, right?
Is it
In
the
the living
carbon?
body?
The most abundant inside our body, is it carbon? In nature, it is carbon. Inside our body, it is oxygen. Not carbon.
Oxygen.
Okay. Right. So I hope there is no any more doubts. So I can change the setting again. Okay. So once you all have finished the first 5 questions, can you all please raise your hand so I can get a rough count of the number of students who have finished? Please raise your hand if you have finished. Try to write the answers without seeing the book. That will help you a lot. Then when you are going out of the class, you have studied and memorized or studied and learned everything what you studied in class. If not, you should study it back again. So no use of that. Okay, if the tunes are not available after class, I will upload it again. I will upload it again. So soon after the class, make sure to download the tunes. So one student is saying that he downloaded it, the tune, it's there. So you should click on the free button. If you click on the free button, then below it will show tutorials. Then from there you should download it. The people who came late to class, you all can watch in YouTube because I think it's going live in YouTube as well. So after class, you all can watch it in YouTube. Right, only 19 students have finished. What about the others? Do quickly. Do it quickly. Then we can study more. Teacher, can you give some example for organic and inorganic compounds? Yeah, so here itself we studied 5 examples for organic, like carbohydrates, vitamins, they are organic compounds, protein, lipid. If you specifically want others, like you can say glucose, C6H12O6, that's an organic compound. Then C3H8, like that, you have so many compounds there, right? And inorganic, more than organic, you have inorganic compounds as well. So yeah, like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, then water, then sodium carbonate. You have so many inorganic compounds. Yes, glucose is organic. Okay, only 39 students have finished. Only 5 questions, right? Soon, soon. Don't be lazy to raise the hand. So I know that I want to know whether you have finished. Okay, 67 students have finished. Others? Okay, that's enough time. Okay, now everyone take out your red pen and correct your answers. So correct it with a red pen. Huh? No erasing and correcting when I'm teaching. Huh? So what is an atom? So first one, what is an atom? So you should say atom is the simplest form of a substance. Simplest form of a substance. So the next one they're asking you, what is a molecule? So what's a molecule? Two or more similar atoms. Two or more similar atoms, or two or more similar atoms or dissimilar atoms. If you have two or more similar atoms or two or more dissimilar atoms combined together. Combined together. So it will form a molecule, right? Combined together, it will form a molecule. Then next one, what is an element? Right? What is an element? So you should say if a substance is made by the same type of atom, or a molecule which contains the same type of atom, you call it as an element, right? So if a substance is containing the same type of atom or a molecule which contains the same type of atom, you call it as an element, right? Then next one, what is a compound? Two or more elements combine together to form the compound, right? Two or more elements combine together to form a compound, right? Then next one, they are asking you how many elements are in nature. Now, naturally, you have like more than 120 elements in nature, but in your book, they have given you as 92 elements, right? Sorry, 92 elements in your book. So maintain that. How many elements are found inside the living body? 25. Right? Inside the living body, you have 25. So out of this 25, how many are the most abundant? What are the most abundant one? 4? Yeah, what are they? What are the most abundant out of these 25? Yes, very good. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Good, very good. So next question they're asking you, which element is most abundant? One element. So out of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, which one is the most abundant? Very good, oxygen. Right? Oxygen is the most abundant. Right? Okay, next one. What was the next question? Yeah. So write the differences between organic and inorganic compound. I think that is the next question. Am I correct? That's the next question, right? Write the difference between organic and inorganic compound. Yes. So what is the difference between organic and inorganic compound? Organic compounds are the compounds which contain what? Which contain, yes, carbon. Except whom? Except carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, bicarbonate, and carbonate. Right? While inorganic compounds, do they contain carbon? While inorganic compounds do not contain carbon. While inorganic compounds do not contain carbon. So the next question is, what are biomolecules? Yes.
Aasiya Miss, can you give me 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Some students they are asking me. Yeah, some students they are asking me how to join your classes. Okay, students, so listen to me very carefully. So now I'm going to explain you how to join Aasiya Miss class, Buddha. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you how to join Aasiya Miss class. So if anyone is willing to join Aasiya Miss class, you should visit our website EDU-ZONE You should visit our website name called what, Buddha? EDU-ZONE After you visiting our website, Buddha, okay, here you have an option called student login. First of all, you have to click on the what, Buddha, the student login option. After you clicking that one, Buddha, you will get a registration form. This I have already logged in. So you will get a registration form. Okay, if you scroll down, you will get a registration form. There you have to enter your name, your school, phone number. So like that, those details, your school badge, those kind of details you have to enter. After you enter in Buddha, you have to click the submit. So after you can what Buddha register to our website if you are a new student. If you are a new student, okay, that is the way you have to register. Okay, so that is the way Buddha you have to register. You should go to our website and fill the registration form and click the submit. After you submitting, enter your email address and the password which is given when you are registering. Okay, after you register in Buddha, you have to log in. After you log in, you will get a page like this. You will get a what Buddha? A page like this. Okay, so here, what are the details? How to join the what Buddha, the classes I am going to explain. So after you log into the page, first of all, very easy. Select your grade as a 9, 10, 11. Select the medium as English medium. Select the subject as what Buddha? Science. After you selecting the subject science Buddha, select the lecturer name Buddha, Aasiya Ali Muhammad. And after that, click the show live lessons. After you clicking the show live lessons, okay, you can see the word Buddha, the timetable of Aasiya Miss. Okay, here Aasiya Miss has what Buddha, the several time slots. Okay, she has put what Buddha, several. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 5 time slots are there. So here you can see Buddha, first one. Okay, some students they got confused how to select the lessons here. So here there is a batch Wednesday 4 to 6:30 and Tuesday 7 to 9:30. Okay, here the Aasiya Miss is teaching unit 1. And here there is another batch, okay, grade 10 and 11. Okay, the revision both together. Huh? Okay, Aasiya Miss, can you hear me?
Yeah, I will explain. Yeah, I can explain this.
Yeah,
Can you go up? Yeah, I'll explain. Can you go up?
Yeah, this is the first one.
The grade 10 theory. Okay. Yeah, so it's like this. I am conducting theory classes as well as revision classes. So this revision class is mainly focused on the 2021 O-level students, and also the 2022 O-level students also can join. So I'll come to there later. So the first slot here I have mentioned is grade 10 theory. So in grade 10 theory, what I'm doing is I'm starting grade 10 from the beginning. So this is the first lesson, chemical basis of life. So in the next lesson, we will be continuing that, right? So in this slot, so I will be teaching chemical basis of life, right? So that this is for grade 10. So that is 2023 O-level students, okay? Then if you go to the Okay, if you go to this one, so here you have grade 11 theory and grade 10 theory. So some students, they want to join both. Maybe due to corona, you missed last grade 10 parts. So here I have given you an option where you can join for both. You can come for the grade 10 theory as well as you can come for the grade 11 theory. So then you should select this slot. So you will be having both grade 10 theory part and the grade 11 theory part. So the fees will be 1,500. Okay. So if you go to the other slot, can you go, sir? Can you go to grade 10 and 11 revision? Yeah, so here I am conducting a revision program. So how this revision program will happen is, now this grade 10 and 11 revision is mainly focused for the 2021 O-level batch, right? So in the revision program, I will be giving a quick revision. Now say for an example, I will choose the most important lessons in grade 10. I will choose the most important lessons in grade 11. So most probably 75% of the lessons I have chosen. So first what we'll be doing is I will be giving a quick revision on that particular part. Say unit 3, I give a quick revision on unit 3, and then what we'll be do is we will do the past paper questions. Like past paper questions in the form of unit wise. Now say this week we are studying unit 3. So that means in this week we will be covering all the questions, past paper questions related to unit 3, right? So like that we will go on. And addition to that, we will be doing the support seminar paper. Support seminar paper is a paper which is released before the O-level as a practice paper. So we will be doing that as well. So at the end of the revision session, you now studying theory is not enough, right? Doing questions with that will benefit you more. So once you do that at the end of the 4 months, now this is like a 4 months program up to the O-level, right? So at the end of the or at the end of 4 months, you will have like completely studied the grade 10 and 11 parts quickly, right? So this is for 2021 O-level batch, right? So if you go to the next slot, you have grade 11 and 10 theory and grade 10 revision. So some students, 2022 O-level student, they want to join grade 11 theory, they want to join grade 10 theory as well as grade 10 revision because they have finished grade 10 last year, right? So if you want like that also, you can join. Okay, so I have given you the details there.
Okay, students. So now I'll explain you how to join the classes. Okay, listen to me very carefully. So if anyone is willing to join any of these badges put up, so what you should do, so after you go into the website, okay, select the teacher. After that, you will get these options. You have to click on the add lesson. Here there is a button called add lesson. You have to click on this. After you clicking the add lesson, okay, it will redirect to the page again. So now it says requested. That means you made only a request, still you didn't make the payments. You made only a Vatputa request, still you didn't make the Vatputa the payments. Okay, so in order to Vatputa make the payment, you have two options. In order to join the class, you have to make the payment. Then only Buddha you can join the class. Baba, you have two options. The option number one, you can deposit the money to this bank account number. Here you can see a bank account number. You can deposit the money to this bank account number and simply you can upload the deposit slip, the pic. Okay, deposit slip, deposit slip in our website. Okay, so you can deposit the money to this bank account number. Simply you can upload the deposit slip in our website. Sir, how to upload the deposit slip in our website? So first of all, what you should do, you have to click the choose file. After that, Buddha, you have to select the image from the gallery. So like for an example, so I'm going to select this image. Here I have an image, so I'm just going to, this is my receipt. Assume this is my receipt. Select the image from the gallery. And after that, don't forget to click the upload option. Here there is an option called upload. Click the upload. After that, it will ask, do you want to upload the payment receipt? You should click OK. And again, it will ask, okay, see, You have to click OK, OK 2 times. One time OK you have clicked. Now payment receipt is uploaded successfully. You have to click OK. So after you clicking OK, OK 2 times, now your receipt is uploaded in the website. This is the way uploading the deposit slip in our website. Don't forget, Puta, before you uploading the deposit slip, you have to write down below the website there. You have to write down these 4 details on the top of the deposit slip. What are the 4 details? You have to write down your name, the lecturer name, subject, month. So those 4 details you should write with a pen. You should write with a pen. So after you writing with a pen, after that only you have to take a picture of that. After that only, Buddha, you have to upload it in our website. This is the way uploading the deposit slip in our website. The second option is what, Buddha? Very easy option. Assume you have a debit card, you have a credit card, or you have an easy cash account. So you can pay through online. So how to pay through online? Here you can see there is a green color label, pay online now option. Click on this. After you clicking that one, Buddha, okay, you will redirect to a page like this. So here you have several options. You can pay through Visa card, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Easy Cash, any free. So several options are there. Assume Buddha, if you are selecting Visa card, many people they have Visa card. No. So if you are selecting the Visa card, you have to enter only 4 details. The card holder's name, credit card or debit card number. Debit card number also you can enter. Behind the card, there is a 3-digit number we call as CVV. And after that, you have to enter the expiry date. And after that, you have to click on the pay. After you clicking on the what to the pay, okay, you have to enter these details. After that, you clicking on the pay, okay, you will get an option called what from the bank. You will get a message from the bank that is we call as OTP. After you clicking the pay Buddha for your mobile phone, you will get a password from the Buddha from your bank to your mobile number, which is saved in the bank. Okay, you have to enter the OTP in the relevant box. Again, you will get a box like this in order to enter the OTP. Enter the OTP in the relevant box. After you entering the OTP in the relevant box, okay, then and there your payment will be activated. Then and there your payment will be activated. After your payment is activated, wait a second. After your payment is activated. After your payment is activated, okay, again you can go to select the grade, select the medium, select the subject science, select the lecturer, click show live lessons. Okay, so then after, okay, one sorry, Buddha. Okay, after it is paid. Okay, now, okay, so here below the next session date, Buddha, you will get the the Zoom link. I'll show you how the Zoom link will be visible to you. Okay, how the Zoom link will be visible to you. Example like this. Okay, here I didn't upload it. Okay, so here below the next session date, you will get a red color label, Buddha, here. Below the website, below the next session date, you will get a red color label. That is the Zoom link, Buddha. If you click on that one, Buddha, if you click on that one, you can join our Zoom meeting. So that is the way of joining the classes. Like that, below the remaining slot, here there is an option called tutorials. If you click that one, Buddha, you can download the tutes also. We will be uploading all the tutorials in the website, as well as all the link in the website. If anyone wants to get the link or the tutorial, you should visit our website. We are not sharing the link in any WhatsApp groups or anything. We are sharing the link only in the our website, which is very easy. Go to the website anytime, you can click the link and you can join the our sessions. So this is the way of joining the classes. Okay, fine. So I'll show you how the link will be visible to you with the example. 1 second. One student is asking me a question. Sir, how the link will be visible? Here you can see Buddha. Here you can see several options. Here you can see the link will be visible to you. Join to Zoom or join the Safe Zoom. Join the, okay, like the below the website, you will get a red color label. If you just click on this one, Buddha, you can join our Zoom meeting. This is the way of joining the what, Buddha, our classes. Okay, fine. If you have any problem related to joining the classes, Buddha, okay, anytime you can send me a message to my number. So here you can see, here the top of the website, here you can see Buddha, or below the website you can see. First number is my number. Second number is our cashier's number. If any problems, okay, you can contact my number. If any payment related issue, call the cashier. She will be helping you on this. Okay, I hope you all are clear with this. Okay, you all are clear with this. Aasiya, you can continue the session.
Sir, can you say how to download the tute? They wanted to know.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, students, listen. Okay, so how to download the tutes? Okay, so I'll explain you. Our website is EDU-ZONE and same time you can download our mobile app also. You can download our mobile app also. It's available in the Play Store. If not, you can go to the website and you can download it. How to download? Same method. First of all, register in the website. After you register, select the grade, select the medium, select the subject, science, okay, and select the lecturer name, okay, Aasiya Ali Muhammad, and after that, show live lesson. After you click in the show live lesson, Buddha, okay, scroll down. You will get a free seminar slot. Scroll down. Here you can see free science seminar, 9, 10, and 11. Here it says free, but for you it says join. I can't remember the word. There is a red color label. Okay. After you clicking that only, you will get an option called free. Okay. So join free. You will get an option called join free. After you should click on this. So earlier there was an option called join free. You have to click on that. After you clicking that, it says free. So if after you clicking that, below the remaining slots, there is an option called tutorials. If you click this one, you can download the tutorial. Very easy. Only one click. Okay, example, I have clicked this one. Okay, grant permission. Okay, if I grant the permission to the, okay, so I can allow the, okay, so I can download the tutes for my mobile phone. Okay, so after downloading Buddha, you can view the file. Okay, you can download to your mobile phone. So that is the way of downloading the tutes. Okay. Is that all, Aasiya? Do I want to explain anything else? Aasiya?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Do I want to explain
Okay.
anything else, Aasiya?
No. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you can take it free.
Okay, students. So now let's continue. So I hope everything is clear now. Aisha, there is an option called join Zoom. After you click that only, you will get the tutorial there. Then only the free option will come and below you will have the tutorial, right? Okay, so now let's start. Let's continue. So now we have to study about 5 biomolecules. So one is the carbohydrate, protein, lipid, nucleic acid, and vitamin, right? So now we are going to study, the first heading is carbohydrates, right? We are going to study about what? Carbohydrates. So now I'll ask you a question. Is carbohydrate a compound or an element? Is carbohydrate, what is carbohydrate? Is it a compound or an element? What is carbohydrate? Yes? Very good. Carbohydrate is a compound. So that means a compound is made up of what? What is a compound made up of? Yes? A compound is made up of? What is a compound made up of? Very good. Elements, right? The compound is made up of elements. So now you have something called elemental composition of carbohydrate. Now what does that mean? Now carbohydrate is a compound. So it contains what? A compound contains what? What does a compound contain? A compound contain? Yes? A compound contains elements. So the elemental composition, the elements present in carbohydrate is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So what are the elements which is present in carbohydrate? Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So these are the elements which is present in carbohydrate. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes, right. Now come. So now when you take carbohydrate, now carbohydrate in some places, you simply call them as sugars, right? Carbohydrate, you simply call them as what? Sugars, right? So now look here. So carbohydrate, you can divide them into 3 types, right? Carbohydrate, how many types can you divide them into? 3 types. So the first type, you call it as monosaccharide, right? What's the first type of carbohydrate? You call it as what? Monosaccharide. The second type, you call it as disaccharide, right? And the third type of carbohydrate, you call it as polysaccharide. So what are the 3 types of carbohydrate? Monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Now look here. The word saccharide. Some students were asking whether I'm keeping physical class. Yes, I'm keeping physical class in both Grandpa's EDU-ZONE as well as Kolonava EDU-ZONE. So I think you all can obtain the timetable from the EDU-ZONE. From EDU-ZONE, you can ask them the timetable. So they will provide you the timetable, right? So I'm conducting in both the places. Okay, now come. Now look here. So the word saccharide. So saccharide means sugar, right? The word saccharide stands for what? Sugar. Now, so here also you have saccharide. That means it's a sugar. So here also you have the word saccharide. So that means it's a sugar. Now come. Mono. Now the word mono it's a Latin word. Mono stands for 1. Right? Mono stands for what? 1. What does di stands for? When you say di stands for what? 2. Right? The word di stands for 2. Poly. What does the word poly stands for? Poly stands for several. Poly stands for what? Several. So you have mono. Mono is 1. Di, 2. Poly, several. Several. So what does that mean? So monosaccharide. So how many saccharide? How many sugar do you have? Monosaccharide. So how many sugar do you have? 1 sugar. 1 sugar. Disaccharide. How many sugar do you have there? Disaccharide. How many sugar do you have? Yes, answer me. How many sugar do you have there? 2. Right? You have 2 sugar. Polysaccharide. Poly means what? Several. So how many sugar do you have there? Several sugars. Right? So monosaccharide is having only 1 sugar. So therefore you give a name for that. You say it as simple sugar. Simple sugar. It has only 1 sugar. So the name you give for that is what? Simple sugar. So did you understand? Is it clear? So did you understand the difference between mono, di, and poly? So mono means 1. Di means 2, poly means several. So what is there? 1 sugar, di means 2 sugar, poly means several sugar molecules. Is it clear? Is it clear? Can we go to the next part? Okay, good. Right, now come. Now come. Right. So now again, carbohydrates, you are dividing them into 3 types: monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Now come here. So monosaccharide, you can divide them according to the number of carbon, right? How many carbon they have, right? Saccharide means sugar. The word saccharide means sugar, right? So now come here, you can divide them according to number of carbon, right? So if you say mono, what does that mean? If you say mono, it means 1. Di means 2. Tri means, if you say tri, 3. Tetra means 4. Then pent. What is pent? Pent means 5. Then hex. What does hex means? Hex means 6. right? So monosaccharide, we are going to mainly focus on two types. The first one is pentose. Now look at the word pent. What does pent mean? Pent means how many? How many? 5. So pentose is having how many carbon? 5 carbon, right? Pentose is having how many carbon? It's having 5 carbon. So the next type you call it as hexose. What does hex stand for? Hex stands for 6. So hexose means how many carbon does it have? How many carbon does it have? 6 carbon. Did you understand? So monosaccharides, you can have two types. One is pentose, the other one is hexose. So pentose means you have 5 carbon. Hexose means how many carbon do you have? 6 carbon. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is that part clear? Is that part clear? Good. Right. Now come. So under pentose, we mainly study 2 examples. Now say these examples with me. These are new names, right? So when you say new names, if you repeat it again and again, that will stay in your mind for a longer time. Okay? So these examples. Pentose, you have 2 types. One example is ribose, right? One example for pentose is what? Ribose. The other example is deoxyribose. Right? Now we need this when we are studying nucleic acid. Now have you heard about RNA and DNA in your smaller grades? Have you heard about RNA and DNA? Have you heard about this? RNA, they say DNA. So RNA contain ribose. DNA contain deoxyribose. So these are nucleic acids. So we will study this later. Okay, but for now, just remember, you have 2 examples for pentose. So one is ribose. Can you say me? What are the 2 examples for pentose? One is, answer me, type. One is pentose. What are the 2 examples? One is ribose. What's the other one? What's the other example? Deoxyribose. Ribose and deoxyribose. So this one we will study it later under nucleic acid. So now mainly we are going to study about hexose, right? The first example for hexose is glucose. What is the first example for hexose? Glucose. The second example for hexose is fructose. The third example for hexose is galactose. So say again, what are the 3 examples for hexose? One is glucose. The other one is fructose. The other one is galactose. Again, what are the 3 examples? Glucose, galactose, fructose. Right? Glucose, fructose, galactose. Now you all are going to answer me, yeah? Now, hexose contain how many carbon? Hex. Hexose contain how many carbon? Now you have mono, di, tri, tetra, pen, hex. So hexose contain how many carbon? Answer me. Answer me everyone. Hexose contain how many carbon? 6 carbon. Hexose, no, hex means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hexose contain how many carbon? 6 carbon. So now look here. So the chemical formula for glucose, now glucose also contains 6 carbon. Fructose also contains 6 carbon. Galactose also will contain 6 carbon. So all of these will have a same chemical formula. So that is C6H12O6. Right? So this one you should memorize. So what is the chemical formula for glucose? C6H12O6. Now look here, you put a C6. H double that 12O6. Right? So what are the chemical formula for glucose? C6H12O6. Right? Okay, now come. Now glucose means what? How many glucose means? Can you let me know? Glucose means how many sugar? Now monosaccharide. Mono means how many sugar? 1. How many sugar? So glucose is 1 sugar. right? Glucose is one sugar. Now let's go to disaccharide. Now di means what? Di means what? 2. So to form a disaccharide, how many sugars should combine? How many sugar should it combine to form a disaccharide? How many? 2. So now look here. Now look here. If 2 glucose, now you have 3 types of monosaccharide. So now let's take the first one. So if 2 glucose combine together, it will form a disaccharide that you call it as maltose. So say with me, what is it? If 2 glucose combine together, it will form a disaccharide. What's the name you give for that disaccharide? Maltose, right? The name you give for that is maltose. Now come here. What is the chemical formula for glucose, everyone? Answer me. What is the chemical formula for glucose? Yes? C6, H12 and O6. So how many glucose are you going to combine? How many glucose are you going to combine? 2. C6, H12, O6. Now look here. Now look here. It's going to form maltose. At the meantime, it will remove water, right? When 2 glucose are combining together to form maltose, at the meantime, what is it doing? It's removing water. Now add this up. Can you add this up? Now see, if both of them combine together, how many carbon will you have? If both of them combine together, how many carbon will you have? Good. C12H. How many hydrogen? Both of them combine together. 24. But now look here. They have removed 2 hydrogen. So how many will remain? Now they are removing water. No? So when they are combining, they are forming maltose and they are removing water. So you have 24, but here you are removing 2 hydrogen. So now how many hydrogen will you have? 22. Very good. 22. Oh, oxygen. Add it. How many oxygen are here? 12. But here you are removing 1. So if you remove 1 from 12, what's your answer? Yes? Very good. 11. So what is the maltose? What's the chemical formula for maltose? C12, H22, O11. Did you understand how I got that? Did you understand how I got that? Yes or no? Everyone, did you understand how I got that? I'll explain you one more time. Now look here. To form maltose, how many glucose should combine? 2 glucose should combine, right? To form maltose, 2 glucose should combine. So now you're adding both of them up. Adding both of them up. So you have here 6 carbon, 6 carbon. So 6 plus 6, 12. Then hydrogen, here you have 12 hydrogen, 12 hydrogen, 12 plus 12, 24. But here you are removing water. So how many hydrogen are you removing? 2. So what's remaining? 22. Then 6 is how much? 12. But you are removing 1 oxygen. So how many will remain? 11. So the chemical formula for maltose is C12H22O11. And it's removing water. Did you understand? Did you understand? So to form maltose, you should have 2 glucose which will combine together. So if these 2 glucose combine together, then it will form maltose and it will remove water. Now look. Now there is a special thing. Now can you see this arrow? I have put it like this. One I have put like this. The other one I have put like this. Can you see that arrow? Both the sides I have put. Right? Both the sides I have put. Can you see that arrow? What does this mean? Look here. If you have lot of glucose, what will happen? Glucose and glucose will combine together and form what? If you have lot of glucose, glucose and glucose will combine together and form maltose. But if you have lot of maltose, then what will happen? This maltose will react with whom? Water and form what? 2 glucose. So this reaction can take place in the forward direction as well as this reaction can take place in the backward direction. So that's why you show it like this. So this you call it as a reversible reaction. Reversible reaction means this can take place in the forward direction as well as this can take place in the backward direction. Is it clear? Is that clear? Right? So reversible means now this arrow is showing front. This arrow is showing back. So it can take place in this direction as well as it can take place in the opposite direction. Right? In the opposite direction. Right. Now look. So if it is taking place in the opposite direction, if this reaction is taking place in the opposite direction, so this maltose is reacting with whom? With whom is this maltose reacting to take place in the opposite direction? With whom is this maltose reacting? With water. So if any reaction with water, that you call it as hydrolysis. Hydrolysis. So hydro means water. So hydrolysis of maltose. If water reacts with maltose, what will it form? What will it form? Hydrolysis of maltose will form what? Yes, the backward. If maltose react with water, what will it form? Hydrolysis of maltose will form, yes, answer me, glucose, right? Hydrolysis of maltose will form glucose. Did you understand? Did you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? Good. Right, next one. Now look. So here, how many glucose are combining together? Here, how many glucose are combining together? 2 glucose is combining together. Now look at the next one. If you have a glucose and it combines with fructose, right? If you have a glucose, it's combining with fructose. Then it will form another disaccharide. You call it as sucrose, right? What is happening? If glucose combine with fructose, then what will happen? It will form sucrose, right? Now look here. So when you take the monosaccharide, in this, the most sweet one is fructose. You find it in honey, right? The sweetest monosaccharide. So what is the sweetest monosaccharide, everyone? The sweetest monosaccharide is fructose. The monosaccharide which is not sweet is galactose, right? If you have a monosaccharide that is not sweet, what is that? Galactose. Okay? Galactose is not sweet. So where do you find galactose? In breast milk. So if you have tried breast milk, so in the breast milk, you will see that the breast milk is not sweet, right? So you find the galactose in breast milk, right? Now look here. So if you have glucose and it combines with fructose, what will it form? Sucrose. Next one. If you have glucose and it combines with galactose, it will form another disaccharide that you call it as lactose, right? So what is lactose? If a glucose combines with galactose, it will form what? Lactose. Okay? So how do you form sucrose, everyone? Say with me. Study here itself, so you don't need to study it again later. So if you have glucose and it combines with fructose, it will form sucrose. If you have glucose and it combines with galactose, it will form lactose. It will form lactose. Now you're saying, so you have maltose, sucrose, lactose under disaccharide, right? Out of this, which one is the sweetest? Out of this, think and say, yeah? Out of this, which one is the sweetest? Can you all answer me? Out of maltose, sucrose, and lactose, which one is sweetest? Very good. Correct. That is sucrose. Why did you say sucrose? Why did you say sucrose is sweetest? Why? Because it contains what? What does it contain? Fructose, right? So because it contains fructose, you can say sucrose is the sweetest. So which one is not sweet? Which one is not sweet? Which one is not sweet? Very good. That's correct. It's lactose. Why? Because it contains only what? Because it contains galactose. Because it contains only galactose. So because it contains galactose, lactose is not sweet. Right? So this is found in lactose is the breast milk. Breast milk is made up of lactose. So did you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Good. Right. Now let's go to the next one. Last one. If you have, now look at the word poly. Poly means what? Poly means? Poly means? Poly means several. So if you have several saccharide, now what is the saccharide? Saccharide is the simple sugar, right? So if you have several sugar molecule, now say you have several glucose. Now this is glucose, now several glucose. You put an N times. You have several glucose. If they combine together, they will form what? Polysaccharide. So if you have several monosaccharide combined together, what will they form? Polysaccharide. So to form disaccharide, how many monosaccharides should combine together? How many monosaccharides should combine together to form disaccharide? Only 2. But if it is polysaccharide, how many monosaccharides should combine together? A lot. If you have a lot of monosaccharides combining together, that will form the polysaccharide. So under polysaccharide, you should mainly study about 3 examples. So one is starch, the other one is glycogen, and the last one is cellulose. Right? Cellulose. So what are the examples for polysaccharide? Starch, glycogen, and cellulose. So now look here. If 2 glucose combine together, it will form what? Maltose. If several maltose combine together, what will it form? The polysaccharide, right? So if several glucose combine together, it's going to form starch. It's going to form starch. So say this is 1 glucose. To form starch, you should have several glucose combined together. Then only it will form starch, right? So it is, this one you call it as a polymer. Polymer means if you have a large number of compounds combined together, you call it as polymer. So the simplest form, now here you take the chain is the polymer. The simplest form is a bead, right? So what is the bead? The bead is the glucose. So that you call it as monomer. That you call it as what? Monomer. So starch is a polymer. Several glucose has combined together to form starch. So it's a polymer. The simplest form is what? The monomer. So the simplest form of starch is what? The monomer. Did you understand? So the monomer of starch is what? So what is the simplest form of starch? What is joining together to form starch? What is joining together to form starch? Answer me. Which compound is joining together to form starch? Okay, I'll explain again. Listen again. Listen again. Now, when you come to polysaccharide, poly means a lot, right? So you have a lot of monosaccharide combining together, then only you will form the polysaccharide, right? If you have a lot of monosaccharide combining together, it will form the polysaccharide. So this simplest form, this one is what? This is a monosaccharide, right? This is a monosaccharide. So if you have several monosaccharides combining together, it will form the polysaccharide. So now let's take the example starch. Now starch is made up of glucose. Starch is made up of what? Glucose. So how many glucose should combine together to form starch? How many glucose should combine together to form starch? Several. Right? So if you have this one, glucose, 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 like that, several glucose, if they combine together only, it will form the starch. Right? So starch is a polymer. Right? It is a polymer, large, a big compound. Right? So it's made up of monomers. Monomers means the simplest form. So what is the simplest form of starch? What is the simplest form of starch? Yes? Glucose. Right? So the monomer of starch is what? Glucose. right? So remember, starch is a polymer and the monomer of starch is glucose. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Right. So I'll write it again. Now look here. I'll write it again. Now look. If two glucose combine together, what will it form? If two glucose combine together, what will it form? Yes. If two glucose combine together, what will it form? Maltose, and it will form maltose and water. Right? If several maltose, that means several glucose combine together, what will it form? Starch and water. Starch and water. Now I'll ask you one question. If starch undergo hydrolysis, if starch react with water, what will it form? Now hydrolysis is the reverse opposite reaction. So if starch react with water, what will it form? First it will form maltose, and finally it will form glucose. So hydrolysis of starch. If starch undergo hydrolysis, finally what will it form? Finally it will form, yes? Answer me. Finally it will form glucose, right? So if the starch undergoes hydrolysis, finally it will form glucose. Did you understand? Did you understand? Is it clear? Right. So now we should study about the functions of the disaccharide. So what are the three disaccharides we studied? Starch, glycogen, cellulose. Right. So in plants, the food is stored in the form of starch. Right. Food is stored in the form of what? Starch. In animals, food is stored in the form of glycogen. Right? In animal, food is stored in the form of glycogen. Cell. So when you take the cell, outer boundary of the cell is what? Outer boundary of the cell, you call it as cell wall. Right? Outer boundary of the cell, you call it as what? Cell wall. So the cell wall is made up of cellulose. So remember this. Okay. So when you take any plants, the food in plants is stored in the form of starch. Then glycogen, the food in animals is stored in the form of glycogen. Then the cell wall of the plant is made up of what? Cellulose. So is it clear? Is it clear? If you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask now. Any doubt to ask?
Cell wall is made up of what?
Cellulose.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Is fructose and sucrose both are sweet as sugar?
Now, if they ask you, which one is the sweetest monosaccharide? What should be your answer?
Fructose.
Sucrose.
Fructose, monosaccharide. Monosaccharide. That is glucose, fructose, and galactose. So if they ask you which one is the sweetest monosaccharide, what should be your answer?
Fructose.
Fructose. If they ask you which one is the sweetest disaccharide, what should be your answer?
Sucrose.
Sucrose. So which one is more sweet? Sucrose or fructose?
Fructose.
Why?
Sucrose.
Huh?
Because it is obtained by
Which one is more sweet? Sucrose or fructose?
Fructose.
Fructose. Why? Because in sucrose you have fructose and glucose. But in fructose you will completely have what? You will completely have fructose.
sugar.
So fructose is the sweetest. Why did sucrose become sweet? Because of whom?
Because of
Fructose.
Fructose. Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Ma'am, breadfruit contains carbon, right? Carbohydrates.
What?
breadfruit is an example for carbohydrates
Yes,
food.
breadfruit. Yes. Right. Okay, now take out your tute again.
Teacher,
Yes. Yes. I can't hear you.
teacher, what is
Right. Now do question number 6, 7, and 6, 7, 9, and 10. No, 10, 11. Okay, wait, I'll say 6, 7,
teacher?
then 9, 10, 11. Do this. And also you can do 12 also. Do these questions. Yes, dear. Yeah,
At what time you will finish this seminar?
after this.
Tomorrow.
Do it soon so you can go.
Miss, is lactose bitter?
Lactose is not bitter, like a bit, but not so bitter. You can drink. But it's not sweet.
Teacher, what does lactose have?
Lactose is made up of glucose and galactose.
Miss, so galactose is beaten, so then lactose can be beaten, right?
It won't be bitter, but a bit, because you don't have like
Bitter,
when you
bitter.
take milk you will not have, like 9%. I can't remember the percentage exactly, but yeah, it will not be very bitter, but a bit. Okay.
Okay,
I have not drank first of all, so to say, Yola, I'll drink and come and say.
Ma'am, does glycogen and cellulose have a monomer?
Yeah, all are glucose. Glucose is the monomer for starch, glycogen as well as cellulose. Okay. Right. So if you have finished writing the answers, you can raise your hand. Okay, some person is saying, Miss, can you explain monomer again? So listen to me. Now just imagine you're making a chain, a bead chain, a chain which you use beads to make it, right? So now how many beads are you going to put? A lot of beads. If you put only, you can make the chain, right? So this is the chain which is made by using beads, right? So imagine this chain to be the polymer. Imagine this chain to be the polymer. So what is a polymer? If several small compounds combine together, it will form a polymer. So if several small compounds combine together, it will form a large molecules, a large compound. So that is the polymer. Okay. So polymer is the combination of several small compounds. So one compound, now if you have several small compounds combined together, it will form the polymer. So one of that, out of the several, one compound, you call it as the monomer. So monomer is the simplest form, the simplest unit of a polymer. So polymer is made by using several what? Polymer is made by using several. Finish the statement.
Monomer.
Polymer is made by using several
Monomer.
monomers. Understood? So if you have several monomers combined together, then only it will form the polymer. Okay? Okay, someone read me the sixth question so we can discuss it and then we can leave the class. Can someone read the sixth question for me? No one has the tune, no?
Explain
Right.
the
Write the elemental composition of carbohydrates.
Carbohydrates. So what are the elemental composition? Carbon, hydrogen, and
oxygen.
Oxygen.
okay, what's the next one?
Carbohydrate can be divided into three groups as monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Write the difference between them.
So you should say monosaccharide is made up of how many sugar molecule?
One sugar.
One. Made up of one sugar molecule, while, or you can say disaccharide is made up of
Two
Two
sugar.
sugar
Two
molecules.
sugar.
two sugar molecule. Then polysaccharide is made up of
Sugar.
Sugar molecule.
yeah, or you can say
Several
polymerization of monosaccharide is made by several sugar molecules. That's correct. Right, next one. Or you can say
brief
sugar
introduction
without
about
saying sugar, you can say
reproduction.
several monosaccharides. Okay, what's the next one?
Write two methods to
Explain
form
reproduction.
glucose
Write
and
two?
a method. Write two methods to form glucose and a method to use glucose in the living organism.
So we didn't study that. So do next question.
Give a brief description about
Sorry.
Write the sweetest monosaccharide and disaccharide.
So what is the sweetest monosaccharide? Monosaccharide which is sweetest is fructose. Is the disaccharide?
Sucrose.
Ah. So what's the next question?
Write the
give a
monosaccharide
brief
which is not
description
sweet.
about reproduction.
Write the monosaccharide which is not sweet.
So what is the monosaccharide which is not sweet?
Galactose.
Lactose.
Galactose, monosaccharide. Okay. So next one.
Write an equation to show how the following disaccharides
What is
are
reproduction?
formed.
Okay, thank you. So how the following disaccharides are formed? So the first one, they are saying you to show how maltose is formed. So you should say glucose plus glucose will form maltose and what? Maltose plus what? Then glucose plus galactose will form lactose and what? Then if they ask you about sucrose, you should say glucose plus fructose will form sucrose plus what? Right? So these are the three equations. Yeah, so that's it for today. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat. Miss, 2021 O-level batch have physical class this Sunday. Yes. Yes. From 8:30 onwards. Teacher, are you keeping physical classes in Kandy? No, dear. Only in Colombo. Yes, that's correct. There's also Cockney in carbon. Yes. Do 2022 batch have physical class? Yes. In Grand Pass as well as in Kolanava, I am keeping physical classes. So get the schedule from Hilmisa. Okay then, everyone, take care.